Hello, welcome to Lori's DIY Life. So, I made this card front yesterday out of the tonic. Um, oh, where did I put that? Die set. Well, anyways, I made it out of the frame. Here it is. The frame die set, sentimental frames. And I wanted to use it because sometimes people do have big Valentine's cards. So I thought we would make our own card to put on it, and this is going to require, without piecing paper together, a 12 by 12 sheet. So lengthwise, this is 8 1/4. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to do it 8 1/4 inches, and I'm going to go just a little bit bigger than 8 1/4. Not even a 1/16 of an inch, or yeah, not even a 1/16, more like a 32nd of an inch, but just enough that the card is going to have plenty of room. And that came out a little short, so somewhere my measurements are off, but that's still going to work. I would have swore oh, it is more than 8, or more than 1/4, just a touch over. So I did cut this a little bit short, but that's all right. It's this other way that matters the most. That little bit I'm going to be all right with. So this is about 5 3/4. So I'm going to get my scoring tool. 5 3/4. And I'm going to go to the next one, because I know I have 6 inches anyways. I could do, as a matter of fact, that's what I will do. I'm going to go at 6 and score it. Ooh. Does not want to stay in that line. There we go. So I have it scored at 6. And I think I'll fold it in there. And this is the same paper that I used for the backing. It's from the Crafter's Companion Lovely Lilacs Pearlescent paper pad. So now I've got this, and I'll just use my, I should have lined it up. I was pretty lined up. Okay. Now I can go ahead, glue this on, or I can just go ahead. I want to make sure it's lined up right. See that little bit that's got to come off? I'm just going to do that little tiny, a little bit at a time, and hope that it does both layers. Yes, a little bit more than that. And again, hoping that both layers get cut. Just trying to make it as straight as possible. And let's see. That looks about right to me. So there we go. Now because I made that a little bit short, I'm wondering about taking a little tiny bit off because it's going to show that it's short for sure. I don't know if I get it right. Let's check it out. Oh, I still got stuff from the butterflies on here. Okay. So let's try this now. I know that's a lot of glue, isn't it? I want to give myself a little bit more time to move it. To come right this way. See, that's why I wanted more time to move it. So I just put a little bit of extra glue. Just to get that little bit of extra time. I love the way this front turned out. So I'm sure hoping I don't mess this part up. Very pretty. We're not that far away from Valentine's Day now. So just rubbing some of the glue off the mirror. But there we go. Looks like we got it. All right. So there's the card. And I didn't have to piece the papers together. Now what I need, I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to go get some paper. 12 by 12. Hopefully we can figure out how to make an envelope for this. I'll be right back. Oops. All right, so I have some 12 by 12 white paper. I wouldn't call it card. You can hear how flimsy it is. I thought it was from Violet Studios, but I don't see the papers. It must be that Violet Studios from Crafter's Companion. But we'll find out. Let me put this one aside. I'm thinking we could do an envelope this way, where we fold, this folds in, and then this folds. Let's see if that's gonna meet. Seems to me like it should. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mess up this paper if I have to. I've got plenty more of it, so I'm not too worried about that, but I would want this up here. About like that. And then this would be the flap going over it. Why wouldn't that go now? Doesn't it seem like it should? If it's 6 And this is not 6 inches across. Not quite, so it seems like, unless this paper is not a true 12 by 12, but it is. So I can't imagine that the fold took up that much space. Oh, I don't have that quite to the end, but you do want to leave plenty of room. And there's no room for the adhesive part. So that's not going to work. So the next option is to do something like this. And this would fold up. And this would fold over. Right. And this would fold over. And then this would fold down. Okay, so this is going to be about the size I want. I can give me a little bit more room just so the card's not too hard to get in and out. So I'm going to kind of just push it over this way. And if this first piece of paper just ends up being a pattern, then it just ends up being a pattern. I'm going to leave this fold here. And then here. And then this would come down. So now what we need to do is even things out a bit and neaten it up, right? So it's been so long since I've done this. I'm gonna cut these flaps off. I haven't done this in so long. I mean, anymore they all come with blanks and stuff. I mean, you get all these blanks that come with the envelopes and stuff. So it's kind of a little bit different now. But I just don't. I used to have this down easy. And this here, but see, we're going to want the envelope basically to be straight, right? We don't want to deal with like this crookedness stuff, and that's not lined up right, and that's not, and I'm trying to think what I used to do to even it out. I know it involved a trimmer. So I don't know. I hope this isn't messing you up. I hope you understand what I want to show. I think I'll go from here to here, maybe with a little tiny bit of space. And then this one's going to have to be pretty much trimmed that same amount. And I don't know how much I left. Let me bring it back. About halfway through there. So I'll come back here. I'll look. You know what? This is about halfway there. Is that right? there. So I'm using this part here to see that it measures where that one also was. Oh, it doesn't want to come down because that paper's there. So I'll fold this in. And let's see if that looks about even. Yep, it's pretty close. Okay, so now I need to do the same thing on all of these and then see if it still works. So this one, if I do this to get it even, then I'm looking here. And this ends just after this second line. So when I do this one, I'm gonna look, and this here needs to end just after the second line. Okay, fold that over. Just after the second line. Let's see what we got. How does that look? About even. Okay, this one is way off. Because I'm going to want it to be probably, let's see, up here. So right about here is where this thing goes in. So I'll go about the second line into here. And we'll see if this is gonna even work. No. Maybe this will even it out. About that spot right there. I know I want that down. Not the same. Brought it a little bit closer, but not quite. It needs to come up a little bit more. About there and about there. I'm guessing at this. And let's see, now does that line up? It's pretty close, so they're pretty close to the same layer. This comes up about the same. It's a little bit off. And then this one is not centered, so I need to get this one. And my paper's taking a beating. I want this one more centered, so I'm gonna try this. See if that centers it some more. And it needs to come to about here. So I'm just gonna put this here and bring this over to about there. This doesn't even look centered anymore, but it's the inside one, right? Now, I'm just going to round, that didn't round very well. Round. Okay. So, obviously they're gonna know that this is homemade. Okay, maybe not. But see there? So you could actually even make this one lower. I like it that it hides any unevenness and stuff here. And so I could cut it down. I think I would leave it. And then we would have to put double-sided tape along here and here. So I've got this pretty banged up, right? So I'm obviously not going to send this. So I'm just going to come over here, put my paper in. Look, I didn't hardly cut anything off to get this envelope the right size. There's hardly any cut off there. And for this, I am gonna trace and I can't even hardly see. Because the inside of the envelope, it doesn't matter if it's traced or not. Carefully moving it. You could leave the points on so that you just come and use the you just come and use your own corner rounder. Okay, so now I just have to cut and tray and cut this out, and I'm not going to round these corners. I'll let the corner rounder do that. But now I'm just going to cut along the lines. This is a thinner. If it's the Violet Studio stuff, they call it card, but I guess it is card, but it's not really thick. It's pretty thin. So, I didn't want, whoops, I messed that up. I didn't want anything thick for the envelope. For envelopes, I look for paper, not cardstock. And I'm not going to round the corner. I'm going to let the corner rounder do that. So, now you may all have easier ways to do this. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've had to do this. But it makes any card work, any card, you know, as long as it's going to fit inside that 12 by 12 sheet of paper. If you have to go to a bigger sheet of paper, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you could do. And really, the edges you don't see don't have to be corner rounded. Right, just really the top flap. Those under ones, the side ones, don't really need to be corner rounded because you're not going to see them. You will have to pay extra postage on this. If you want to come back and measure and make sure all your measurements are the same, you know, you can do that. So basically, this is the one that really only needs the corner round. You can put score lines in. I am just going to fold. Okay, and then this one will go up. You cannot see it, can you? Oh, that didn't fold good at all. Not well. Okay. And then this one will come down. So this was the only one I said needed rounded, because the other two are underneath of it. Okay. There we go. An envelope. So, to me, the best way to put adhesive, because this is going in the mail, I don't necessarily care to glue it, but I'm going to, because this card is a little heavy. So you just glue the sides and bottoms of these flaps, and you fold that over, and that'll glue it for you. I think I am going to round this top one. Oh, that didn't work very well. It doesn't want to work very well. I guess it's the angle it's going in at. Oh, well, that's all right. Now make sure it's open. There's still wet glue. I will put the card in with wet glue. Let's see if the glue is dried yet. Okay. So now the card can go in. Right? But these flaps still have to be put down. You can do a wax seal, and I suppose, I don't know, I guess they're still malleable from what I read, but that's not what I would do if I had my way. And I'm trying to figure out where. It's not in there. Somewhere. Oh, here it is. I knew I was planning on moving something. I just put this double-sided adhesive from one tip to the other. Okay. And down this side. And go as far as you want to, what you feel is right. If you go over the side like I did right there, I'm not going to worry about that, because I'm going to be the one that mails this. So when I pull this adhesive off, I can always fold it back on itself. But then when you pull it up, when you're ready to send it, you just take that off and you can fold it down. And now I have an envelope. See that side where it didn't fold up? Well, it's worth it to get it to fold right. I should have been more careful with that. And I still have plenty of room up here, so I could have made sure that was folded better right there. But there we go. Made our own card blank for a larger card. And our own envelope. And it is ready to go. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll join me again. If you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Bye-bye now. Everybody have a blessed day.